So, ladies and gentlemen, this player was rarely given a full-time role with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He went on to a great AHL and post-pro hockey career, but in the words of my dad, it seems Gabby was never given a full shot of making the NHL. And I tend to agree. This guy was very talented. The numbers are there. The Maple Leafs kind of jerked him around for, half dozen seasons, but that's the way it goes in hockey. We're going to talk about the curious case of the playing career of Bruce Boudreau. I'm not going to go into his head coaching career because it would take quite a bit of a podcast, but I want to talk directly about his importance to the various minor teams he played for over the years, which also led to him to having a walk-on in the movie Slapshot. We'll get into that in a short while. Now, as a skater, Boudreau played pro for 20 years, including 141 games in the NHL and 30 games in the WHA. Now, he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks in the NHL and the Minnesota Fighting Saints of the WHA. Now, Boudreau was born in North York, Ontario. Now, at 5'9", 182, he was a very prominent center, and he eventually played in the 67 Quebec International Pee Wee hockey tournament with the Toronto George Bell, no relation to the great Blue Jay player George Bell, minor hockey squad. He also attended Nelson A. Boylan Collegiate Institute in the 1970s, a great scholastic location. Now, he first came to minor hockey prominence with a great run over 3 seasons with the Toronto Marlies. His best season was his last in 75, where he scored 68 goals and 97 assists and 165 points in 69 games and 40 points in the Memorial Cup playoffs. Now, this led him to be drafted not only by the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the Minnesota Fighting, not only drafted by the Maple Leafs, the Minnesota Fighting Saints took a good look at him as well. So he decided not to sign with Toronto in 76. He spent 30 games with the Saints that year and also spent time with, again, the Johnstown Jets, which kind of duplicated for the Charlestown Chiefs in that movie. And I can tell you that, he was just as good as an actor as he was a player. He put some really impressive numbers with Johnstown that year. 60 points in the regular season, 34 games, and 11 points in the playoffs, including 6 goals. Now, he made his NHL debut with Toronto in 77, scoring 7 points in 15 games. Played 58 games in Dallas, which was their affiliate, scoring 34. 78, his unofficial rookie year, he had 29 points in 40 games and 13 goals in 22 games with Dallas in that campaign. 79, 7 points in the regular season with Toronto, and he played with the prestigious and very highly loved New Brunswick Hawks. He got 58 points that year with New Brunswick, including 20 goals in 49 games. Toronto only had 2 games with the Maple Leafs in that campaign. Back to New Brunswick with 90 points in 75 games, including 36 assists, as well as 13 points in 17 playoff games. 81, more regular term with Toronto, 24 points in 39 games, including 1 goal in the playoffs, and with New Brunswick he had 17 goals in 40 games. Now, in 1982, his last season where he was given a big shot with Toronto in the regular season, he had 2 assists in 12 games, and also played with Cincinnati that year, the CHL, scoring 42 goals and 103 points in 65 contests. Now, 83, he moved to Toronto's other affiliate in St. Catharines, scoring 122 points in 80 games, including 50 goals. He was called up for the playoffs and scored 1 goal in 4 games. 84, he was primarily in the minors with St. Catharines with 190 points in 80 games. Now, he played in Europe in the Bundesliga for 30 games, scoring 20 goals and 48 points. And then he went on to the Baltimore Skipjacks in the AHL, where he had 11 points in 17 games. Now, 86, he found himself with the Chicago Blackhawks and Nova Scotia Oilers. With the Oilers, he had 66 points in 65 games. 87, Nova Scotia AHL. 88-89, Springfield AHL. 89, back with Toronto's AHL affiliate, Newmarket. 90 with the Roadrunners of the IHL. 91-92 with the Fort Wayne Comets of the IHL. And 92, his last goal in the AHL, where he had 7 points in 7 2 points in 4 games with Adirondack. So, final NHL totals: 70 points in 141 games, 28 goals, 2 goals in 9 playoff games. CHL, 196 points in 145 games. And these are the big totals, ladies and gentlemen. One of the greatest AHL scorers of all time. 634 games, 799 points, 316 goals. Playoffs, 52 points in 65 games. So, in his AHL career, ladies and gentlemen, 850 points plus, with 336 combined playoff and regular season goals. Now, playing achievements. Boudreau is the 16th all-time AHL goal scorer with 316, 13 assists with 483, and 12 in points with 799. For the minor leagues as a whole, Boudreau is 8th all-time with 1,368 points, 13 goals and assists, and he's the top 25 all-time scorers in the history of professional hockey. Now, while playing for the Johnstown Jets early in his career, he wore number 7 for the Charlestown Chiefs, and also played for the opposing president's squad as well. So he was doing double duty. Now, he scored 100 points or more for 5 separate minor league teams. He was a CHL's first All-Star squad in 82, AHL first All-Star team in 88, and was inducted in the 2009 AHL Hall of Fame. Now, team records for Springfield and the Indians: assists in the season, 74 and 88, points, 116 and 88. And in awards, he was the Eddie Powers Memorial Trophy winner for the Marlies in 75. He won the John P. Solinger Trophy for the 88 season for the Indians, and he was a Memorial Cup and J. Ross Robertson Cup winner with the 75 Marlies. So his place in hockey is secure, and his coaching career, again, it's still a work in progress, because a lot of people believe that he's got a lot to go. We know that Minnesota left him go after this season with not too bad of a campaign, 27, 23, and 7. I would figure down the road he's going to eventually end up in a Canadian team. He's never been a head coach of a Canadian squad, and I think that's going to come about. Now, he is a great regular season coach, but in the playoffs, not so much. But maybe in a future podcast we'll talk about that and go from there. And his biggest problem, again, it's the playoffs. Regular season is not a problem. He's got 567 wins in 984 games, and a playoff record of only 43 and 47. You do the math, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day. Bye.